Welcome to the Gospel Road. We are going to look at Ecclesiastes 7. Long week, right? Oh, all right. It says, a good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of birth. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for this is the end of all mankind, and the living will lay it to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, but for sadness of the face, the heart is made glad. The heart of the wise is the house of mourning, but the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth. It is better for a man to hear the rebuke of the wise than to hear the song of fools. For as a crackling of thorns under pot, so is the laughter of the fools. This also is vanity. Surely oppression drives the wise into madness, and a bribe corrupts the heart. Better is the end of a thing than its beginning, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for anger lodges in the heart of fools. Say not, why were the former days better than these? For it is not from wisdom that you ask this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and advantage to those who see the sun. For the protection of wisdom is like the protection of money, and the advantage of knowledge is the wisdom preserves the life of him who has it. Consider the work of God, who can make straight what he has made crooked. In the day of prosperity be joyful, and in the day of adversity consider God has made the one as well as the other, so that man may find out anything that will be after him. In my vain life, I have seen everything. There is a righteous man who perishes in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man who prolongs his life in his evil doing. Be not overly righteous, and do not make yourself too wise. Why should you destroy yourself? Be not overly wicked, neither be a fool. Why should you die before your time? It is good that you take hold of this, and from that withhold not your hand, from the one who fears God shall come out from both of them. Wisdom gives you strength to the wise man, gives strength to the wise man more than 10 rulers who are in a city. Surely there is not a righteous man on earth who does good and never sins. Do not take to heart all the things that people say. At least you hear your servant cursing you. Your heart knows that many times you yourself have cursed others. All this I have tested by wisdom, I said. I will be wise, but it was far from me that which has been is far off and deep, very deep. Who can find it out? I turned my heart to know and to search out and to seek wisdom and the scheme of things, and to know the wickedness of folly and the foolishness that is madness. And I find something more bitter than death. The woman whose heart is snares and nets, and whose hands are fetters. He who pleases God escapes her, but the sinner is taken by her. Behold, that is what I found, says the preacher, while adding one thing to another to find the scheme of things, which my soul has sought repeatedly, but I have not found. One man among 1,000 I found, but a woman among all these I have not found. See, this alone I found, that God made man upright, but they have sought out many schemes. Ecclesiastes 7. Have you sought out many schemes? I'll say my dad has sought out many schemes. It's like he's always chasing money. Ooh, did you hear my chair squeak? Do you know people like that? Always trying to find that quick buck, always trying to make a dollar from something to the point that they can pretty much fall for anything that comes their way and gets them in trouble. And it's gotten him into trouble many a times, especially financially. But we need to be cautious on how we live our lives and how we do things and the things that are out there because there are a lot of pieces that can really pull us off. And I know a lot of people with businesses that have lost because of things that have happened. Lots of interesting pieces in here, lots of interesting words of knowledge, wisdom. Be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for the anger lodges in the heart of fools. Do you come and become angry quickly? There was a point in my life I was worse at it than I am now. I still can get pretty angerly anger. I can get angry pretty quick, not too quick. I've calmed myself a lot compared to what it used to be. But we do need to be careful. We need to be cautious. Again, we can gain the wisdom. It says in here to not gain lots of wisdom because then all of a sudden you are that know it all and you know everything. And I don't know, I was claimed to be that a lot when I was younger. Maybe even now, too. Some people still see the same thing. A lot of times I'll probably share things that I probably shouldn't be sharing when it comes to stuff. But as I always say things, I share something because this is something I have done and I'm trying to help you not make the same mistake twice. Uh, and I'll probably make the mistake again just because I'm going to fail that way. But we need to really hold ourselves accountable and friends, family, hold them accountable and really help them as they're making their way through life to kind of keep them on that straight and narrow for themselves so they're not falling for different things. As we've heard, you've got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. But a lot of times, even if you're standing for something, if you're kind of being foolish about things because you're always chasing something, you're going to fall for many things as well because you are that person that snake oil salesman is looking for, that schemer is looking for. We've heard that, right? Way back when they're the person that would travel from town to town, selling you a bill of goods and then you'd throw your money into it and, well, it would kind of bite you in the end, right? You got to be careful. You got to be cautious. We see that a lot today, especially in social media and emails because you have people spamming and scamming and a lot of bots out there that are actually it's happened to me on social media where someone has tried to be me and so they're trying to then convince people on certain things. So be careful, be cautious, be wise, and really use your wisdom carefully. Use it to make sure you are really kind of vetting things, making sure that it's not too far off, making sure that you're not getting pulled into something. And I'm not saying that that's going to work 100% all the time. And I'm not saying that you're not still going to fall for something and still get caught because I've been bit many times and I'm probably going to get a bit again. No matter how cautious you can be, you can still let your guard down and get sucked in on something. So just be careful. Be, you know, be cautious, be careful, be very well, keeping your eyes open when you're looking at things, trying to get things figured out, or when you're looking for something or trying to find a good deal. Sometimes, how many times you look for that good deal and you get bit on that deal? Sometimes you get what you pay for. You've heard that before, right? We do need to be careful and kind of watch what we do and how we do things. It was funny how in the one here it said that, don't talk about how the former days are better than these. You heard about, back in my day. We hear that a lot. And I even hear that a lot. And even coming off the whole pandemic, 3 years later, we're hearing that, pre-pandemic and what it was like. And unfortunately, things change. The world changes, and we have to figure out how to make that work. We need to figure out how to adjust when things happen. It's not easy, let me tell you. I know being in media for so many years and how that adjusted so quickly. I mean, being in radio, I had never had that thought that I would be making podcasts, I would be doing social media posts, I'd be having to figure out video. I had no concept of that. And it's not even just with that. I mean, even when you talk about the social media to use that for marketing and digital marketing, who would have ever thought this is what the world would end up being? In fact, I was just having that conversation with someone the other day about social media and how it is out there, and we need to be able to use that to really help get our brands out, get out there who we are when you're as a company or as a person. But at the same time, you need to be careful with that as well, because social media can bite you. It could come back and, well, you could lose a job. I've had friends that have lost jobs because of social media, because maybe they shared a little too much and they got a little too mouthy. Again, watch your mouth. Be careful with what you're going to say. Be careful what you're going to share. Be careful what you're putting out there, because now there's that digital footprint and it doesn't go away. It'll always be there. Yeah, not as easy to hide as it used to be, especially for those of us that have to that's become our lives. But you do need to be careful with that, and stop. As it says, everything that goes in your brain does not need to come out of your mouth, especially online. Family dinners, around friends. Yeah, I've probably done the same thing, and I'm going to do it again. I will. But hey, just realize it's going to happen, and hopefully you have some very forgiving friends and family and coworkers that go, you know what? Yeah, he sometimes is a moron. He can be very foolish. Ecclesiastes 7. Be sure to check it out. How does it help you be that better person? That's what we're all trying to be. Being better today than we were yesterday, being better tomorrow than we are today. Always trying to do our best. And hey, I'm still in this new position, and sometimes, well, my best is just doing my best, because it's not always easy. Because sometimes you can feel a little overwhelmed and you can get buried a little bit, and you got to be careful with that. But we all fall into that. We fall into those categories occasionally, but just be careful, right? And again, be careful with how you share a lot of the things that you know, right? Just because you know doesn't mean everyone wants to know what you know. Even if it pains you as you're watching them fail miserably. But hopefully then you can come by them and help pick them up and help them be better the next time. It's all about tact, right? Technique, how you do things. Yeah, a strategic plan. I've never played Stratego, but we've heard about Stratego, right? Yeah. Again, it's about strategy and being able to do it so you're, kind of helping people more than you're kind of pushing them away or irritating them. I probably irritate them more often than not. So, yeah, I fail. I fail every day. I'm not perfect, but I do my best, right? I know you hear me say that a lot, but it's true. And that's how all of us are. But check it out. How does it help you be that better person? Ecclesiastes 7. All right. Be sure to check that out. And if you enjoyed this, be sure to share it with your friends, family on social media. You can always find me on social media on pretty much every avenue that you can think of. Just look up My Buddy Jimmy, and you're probably going to find it, especially on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Oh, I'm sorry. It's X now. Yeah, Twitter's X. The site formerly known as Twitter. Instagram and Threads and TikTok and everywhere. YouTube, all My Buddy Jimmy or mybuddyjimmy.com. Also, give me a rating on the platform you're listening. That's always a big help as well too. So appreciate that. Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. All right, I always appreciate that. Have a great day. God bless.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com.
If you're looking for help with software, app, web development, be sure to check out my friends at ingenuitycompany.com. They believe in their clients. Software development, app development, web development, visioning, design thinking, diagramming, organizational development, strategy. They can help you at the Ingenuity Company. Find out more at ingenuitycompany.com.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.